If you've been around the firearms world for a while, you've probably heard of the conflict between the 9mm and .45 ACP calibers, or even the one between the .40 cal Smith & Wesson and .45 ACP calibers. Do you believe the .380 ACP is only a less effective 9mm? We'll weigh the specs of each caliber to determine which is best for self-defense. It's true though, some people enjoy the 9mm while others favor the traditional .45 ACP. But what about the .380 ACP, the 9mm's younger sister? Given that the bullets in both the 9mm and the .380 have the same diameter, what distinguishes them, and which is better for self-defense? Let's dive deeper into the details of 9mm versus .380 ACP ammunition. First, let's talk about caliber. The 9mm cartridge is that size in diameter, while the .380 ACP is .380 inches in diameter. Simple, right? So, this makes the 9mm a larger cartridge and, therefore, a bit more powerful. Next, let's talk about power. The 9mm has a higher velocity and more energy than the .380 ACP. This means that the 9mm will penetrate deeper and have a larger impact on a target, making it a better choice for self-defense. Another important factor to consider is recoil, which is the kickback you feel when you shoot a firearm. The 9mm typically has less recoil than the .380 ACP, which makes it easier to control during rapid fire. In terms of capacity, 9mm handguns often have a higher capacity than .380 handguns. So, 9mm handguns can hold more rounds before needing to be reloaded. This can be especially important in a self-defense scenario where you want to have plenty of ammunition at your disposal. Now, when it comes to availability, 9mm ammunition is much more widely available and typically less expensive than .380 ACP ammunition. Obviously, this makes it a more convenient and cost-effective choice for those who shoot regularly. Next, penetration is another important factor to consider when choosing between 9mm and .380 ACP. The 9mm generally has better penetration than the .380 ACP, again, making it a better choice for self-defense against larger targets. Also, let's talk about accuracy. Both 9mm and .380 ACP can be accurate, but the 9mm has a slight edge due to its higher velocity and less recoil, as it makes it easier for shooters to hit their target accurately, even under stress. The .380 and 9mm rounds are two that are frequently used for various gun types. However, many people are unsure of their interchangeability because they both have bullets with the same diameter. Here's a little history lesson. Colt released the John Browning .380 ACP in 1908 and advertised it as a self-defense firearm. It was made for early blowback pistols without barrel locking and had a rather mild bolt thrust. George Luger used his older 7.65 by 21mm Parabellum to create the 9mm Luger. The 9mm Luger was originally made with military purpose in mind and included a lead core. Iron core jackets were used instead during World War II to conserve lead. In fact, normal copper core cartridges were created by 1944. Now, the total length of the casings is one of the most visible distinctions between the 9mm and .380 revolvers. Due to the .380's smaller size than the 9mm, which makes it simple to distinguish between the two, it's also known as the 9mm short. The .380 bullet may fit in small-frame firearms since it's quite small. Also, because of its tiny size, it has less stopping and penetrating capability. Consider the P238s and the Ruger LCP. They're compact weapons that can fire the .380 round, making them perfect for concealed carry. While some foreign police use the .380 as their primary weapon, American law enforcement and military personnel view it as a backup since it lacks the strength of handguns of a similar caliber, including the 9mm and .38 Special. Due to its compact size, which makes it simple to conceal, and the fact that it can contain a significant number of rounds, its primary purpose is still for civilian self-defense. Due to the availability of tiny pistols with high magazine cartridge capacities in the 9mm Luger caliber, it's grown in popularity among U.S. law enforcement forces. Where legal, it is also a well-liked self-defense cartridge for civilians. When shooting a pistol at 9mm and one in .380 that weighs the same, the .380 will recoil 94% less than the 9mm. It's true that your low recoil won't help you much if your opponent is on the other side of the parking lot. However, it matters if you're preventing an armed attacker from accessing your bedroom, particularly if you're a newbie shooter. In a nutshell, 9mm is a powerful and versatile cartridge that's widely available and less expensive than .380 ACP. However, the .380 ACP is still a popular choice for concealed carry due to its compact size and lower recoil. Ultimately, the choice between 9mm and .380 ACP comes down to personal preference and intended use. Let us know which one you prefer and why in the comments below. We'll see you around.